Hello, welcome to another episode of Daily Market Mastery with me, Christian Rauchenwald. As always, during this live stream, I'm going to take a look at my portfolio, my positions, and how and where I think certain stocks and assets are going to move in the near future. As always, before we do that, however, two things. First, the usual disclaimer. Everything that I share in this live stream / video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. And second, all the tools that I'm using, so the broker, the charting software, the strategy I'm following, and so on, is all linked in the description down below. And the one thing I always recommend, if you haven't done so yet, go and check out the Elliott Wave principle, which you can read online for free when you use the link in the description down below. With all of that out of the way, we can then now jump right into it. And I want to get a few questions out of the way. One of our regular viewers, Olga, brought up last week, we talked about the stock yield enhancement program that Interactive Broker offers. Just have to find the page. And he mentioned that there is the risk, obviously, of not getting the shares back. And I only looked into it during the weekend because I didn't have time before that, but we didn't cover it yesterday because markets were moving a lot. And the important part is basically, so there is the theoretical risk that the stocks are not returned to you, which would mean that you might miss out on a profit if that ever were to happen. However, it's not as if you would lose your funds, because under the SEC rules, Interactive Broker must provide you with US Treasury or cash collateral in the same amount as the value of the shares to protect you in the very unlikely event that the stock is not returned to you. Which means when you participate in the stock lending or stock yield enhancement program, where you say, yes, my shares can be lent out, usually to people that want to short sell the asset that you're lending out, you still have certain forms of protection, and on top of that, you earn interest. Now, the other thing is, like we talked about, how much you actually earn. It obviously varies on the interest rate, but I just noticed today the notification that the net interest earned is a total of €32.55. That's not a big amount, but if we consider that I have less than or only around 10,000 euro in that account here, it actually also isn't that bad. So we see it's $36.73. Okay, we don't see the details here. I could look at it in the account statement, but it's extra income that I wouldn't have if I would not participate in the program. Yeah. Now we have the major moves from that stuff. SPWR had a 45% drop. I didn't see that yet. I had a busy day so far. No large changes in volume. Okay. Grab has a lot of volume. Okay, where did it move? Down. Okay. Still have to fire up Motive Wave, the charting software we're using. Again, it's linked down in the description below as well. And we'll have to consider if we are going to close out those call options. So we got what? We got 15.20 times 5. So we got 76, and we could buy them back now for 40 or for 35, so basically secure a $40 profit. It's not a lot for a week. Why are they not marked as red now? For you, come on, clear. There we go. So all the notifications. So it's not a lot. Where do we start now? Besides that, markets obviously are rebounding a little bit. We see GameStop bounced on the 78.6 retracement level. That comes from where here? Which one is that? Is it this one? Where do you come from? Okay, that's completely relevant. Not sure why that's still on the chart. So that's actually what we're looking at. I think still we might get another push down here. So this might be, as said, in some form 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we get a push to 5, so to the $15 mark. We're gonna wait and see. I still will hold on to the shares and write call options against them every week. Obviously, the premium becomes less interesting the further we are away from the $30 mark, but it's still extra income. So while, for example, in those, what did we say, $75 is not a fortune to make in a week. So it's less than 1%. However, it's still a little bit extra money to grow the portfolio. So it's $75 that I, in this case, used to get 200 shares of known. No labs, not known, but no labs. And yeah, the rest of the portfolio looks very red right now. We have green wave, people in the red. We're gonna jump into motive wave now, actually, and check there. So GameStop, as said, I think there's another push down to come to the $15 area, but nothing we can do because we have the shares right now. I'm not selling them at a loss, so I'm rather keep selling or writing call options against them every week to earn some premium until, in my opinion, we'll go down, we bounce from here, we go up again. Now let's go to the big players first. Let's start with SPY. Where do we move here? So small recovery. I think this will turn into an ABC pattern. So if that is already wave A, wave B might not be finished yet, but if it were, then the movement I would expect would be like this. I don't think this is the case, as I pointed out. I think this is the case, and we'll go down here. So we might see, again, wave B might not be finished yet. So there might still be another push down that forces us to adjust this point here. But if wave B would be finished here already, I think we'll go to the 530, 535, 36 area. And then we get another push down into the 495, 500 area. Might be wrong, but that's how it looks to me right now. So this would be wave 1, wave 2, and here we are currently in the progress of wave 3 downwards. That's at least my opinion. In NVIDIA, we are at 100 right now. We have the same assumption. We might actually already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So for wave 3, but I think we didn't go far enough. So same assumption here, short recovery, and then we get another push down that takes us lower, at least again, in my opinion. And then NASDAQ, or micro NASDAQ that we have here. If it loads today, we tried yesterday, but today we get data. Okay, now let's slowly try to scale that out. Let's go on 3 days. Just based on that movement here, I think this is just the beginning of the downwards movement. So obviously yesterday would have been a good point or a good trade to buy at market open and then participate or profit on the recovery. But I think it's going to be the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe 1, 2, or maybe 1, 2, and this is the beginning of wave 3 or so. And then we'll get a small recovery, get another push down, and that will then be wave 1, wave 2, and then we go down from here. I think the next couple of months will be very, very red. Mostly, even if we look here, so we see that the drop that we have here is very unlikely. Could be A, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave A, wave B, and wave C, possible. But we retraced so much of this movement here that I think that we're actually correcting the bigger movement that we cannot see right now. If I zoom out, I cannot zoom while it's loading. Okay. I'm going to adjust my desk just a second. So yeah, just had to mute the microphone because the noise of the desk or adjusting of the desk is obviously annoying otherwise. Yeah, and so will it load? Will it not load? Apparently it will not load. We'll give it a minute and then we'll see. We can ask the 8-ball in the meantime, will the NASDAQ decline further over the next couple of months? Outlook good, yeah, so the 8-ball also thinks that it will go down further. And yeah, if it loads, if it doesn't load, we'll just move ahead because I'm anyway not invested in the NASDAQ at the moment. So yeah, that's it. Let's give it another 10 seconds. So five, four, three, two, one. Oh, okay, no. Yeah, then Barnes & Noble's educational, still same thing, unchanged story. So we're still waiting to basically see the movement up here happen or further movement down to point out or to confirm that there is no valid pattern, or to invalidate the pattern actually. Crowd, yeah, still a little recovering, okay. We're still waiting. I still think this is 1, 2, 3, now we get wave 4, and then we get wave 5, so further down, and then we get a wave B, and then we get a wave C down further at least. And Faraday suffering further, but we're still, yeah, like it's still, question is this wave 1, A, B, C, and we saw as wave 2, and now we get wave 3, or is that maybe wave A, and that will be A, B, C, and then we get wave 3 down. So it's a waiting game. Grab had more volume, and we're still moving sideways. I still believe that they bottomed here and that this will turn into a big 1, 2 in some form, and from here upwards. So obviously that's a complicated corrective pattern. Might actually be a triangle. Nope, not like this. A, B, C, D, E, and then we would go up. Yeah, so if it's a triangle pattern, then basically we'll see a little bit lower here, and then we get a breakout to the top. So again, I believe that that's long-term going up. And green wave, yeah, declined, suffered the last couple of days as well. It held very well around the $1 to $1.50 mark for quite some time here, or $1 to $2 area here. But now we have the decline here, which definitely doesn't compensate for the 50% interest that we received, which brings me to, let's check our short interest payments. So just a second, I'm going to fire up the reports. So, not reload, but duplicate. So one for yesterday and one for the day before yesterday. So that's yesterday, and then that's the one before. Wrong button. So that's the old one from Friday, and that's the one from yesterday. So August 5th, so this way, August 2nd, 1st. So we scroll to the stock yield enhancement program, and we can see our shares were lent out. Green wave actually with 250% interest, and all 400 shares lent out. So the interest there increased drastically. I'm going to bring up a third one, just a second. So activity. So for the first, so last Thursday, stock yield. Last Thursday, we had only half our shares lent out with a net lent fee. Oh, now it shows both here. No, wait, there. No, there, that's the column we look at, sorry. So we had also 400 lent out with a net fee of around 60%, which means that whoever borrows them pays almost 120%. And then on Friday, that increased to 124%, which means whoever borrows them pays around 200 or 248% in interest. It means yearly interest. And now, yesterday, where do we have it? There. Yesterday, the interest rate again dropped, so it was pretty much only from Friday to Monday somebody was willing to pay a lot, and I mean it looks like it paid off for them. So from Friday to Monday, we have, yeah, like the drop here, and apparently they closed out. We still have a decent interest rate of 61% that we get net fee rate, so 123% interest rate that people have to pay to borrow their shares. Other than that, we had Faraday futures lent out with a very low fee, not lent out anymore, so our shares are not lent out. COS was lent out 88 shares out of 100 for like 100% interest, and is like still roughly the same. And SunPower was lent out all 200 shares for 80% interest, and is roughly the same. The interest rate increased slightly by around 10%. So that's the movement here. So somebody borrowed here, paid a lot in fees. I mean, it's a yearly percentage, so it's not per day or so, which means it's like still decent profit down here. Shares are still lent out, but the interest rate is a little bit lower, so we earn a little bit less. We're still going to hold on to that and see how it plays out. Then cost is set. Yeah, there. auto labeling suggests that we will go down into that area here. I don't think that we'll reach that. I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, if that is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, that actually would track hitting the $5 mark before we finish that correction and then go up from here again. And SunPower, yeah, so we had the question if that might be a recovery of some kind, but it looks more like that is like basically a continuous downwards trend here. Yeah, no point selling this, so it's like a small position that I have, so we're just going to hold it to the bitter end. Either they will recover or they will eventually shut their business down. And then Immersion, there we may have finished our wave 4 or not. Now I want, yeah, so we went a little bit below here, so it's also possible that we'll correct the bigger pattern here, so I would have to, but that would only be possible if we finished wave 5 here already, so I'm not saying that it's not possible, just that it seems unlikely to me. Or maybe that channel seems off. That should be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 here. Yeah, maybe we finish the pattern here. Then we would be correcting this whole movement right now and would obviously expect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, and then go a little bit further down. Gonna keep an eye on it, but I think their original labeling that we had is has still merit. So zoom in again, and we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. And other than that, known is still in the area here. So again, like 27 cents would be the, or 27.28 cents would be the area I would worry, or a little bit below that actually. Stop loss would need to be at 20 cents because then the pattern becomes invalid and we should go down from here. Or at least then this pattern becomes invalid, yeah. So it's still, what was the low here that we had here? 1675, yeah. So that would actually be in quotes the safe stop loss, because if we go below that, then we have like no valid pattern whatsoever. Actually, no, that's at 10 cents even. We do have 10 cents here. Low 11, they are 10.89. Okay, so that's actually the low point that we are aiming for. Hello? That one, yeah. So that would be the safe stop loss here. If we go below that, there is no valid pattern and no point to hold. And other than that, I think that's it. So as I said, like I expect the indices to drop further in the next couple of months, but obviously with some recovery waves. So in that case, like corrective waves to the top and impulsive waves to the bottom. Might be wrong, time will tell. I still think that GameStop will eventually get the next wave movement up. Just a matter if I'm right or not, of course. And yeah, and I think with that, we can actually call it a day here. There are no questions in the chat. And I still have a lot of other things on my to-do list. Plus, I'm, to be honest, getting a slight headache, so I might just lay down for 50 minutes or so. Either way, interesting times to be alive. I wish I would have more time to dedicate towards trading, because there are a few things, obviously, like big movements that we could have cashed in big that I just didn't see, because I'm pretty much spending at most 30 minutes per day to look at the charts, and then not at all the charts because there are just so many of them. But still, yeah, I'm sure at some point in the future I will have more time again for that as well. I hope you're doing well, that your portfolios are all going well. And again, thanks for tuning in. As usual, don't forget, like, subscribe, enable notifications so you don't miss out on future live streams, since they are often spontaneous or I mean, they're not spontaneous, but since they're not always exactly at the same time. Other than that, next scheduled stream would actually be tomorrow, or is actually tomorrow around 5 minutes before market open. But we'll see if, if I manage exactly at the time. So that's why like, subscribe, enable notifications. And again, thanks for stopping by. Have a great rest of the day, and then see you all in another stream really soon. Till then, bye-bye.